I'm going to show you why Morgana mid lane just might be the best champion for lower elo players. Morgana mid lane has been sitting at the top of win rate tier lists in any elo below gold for I think about 6 to 9 months, and she was recently pushed over the edge by some buffs that Riot gave her that were I think intentioned for support but really helped her out in the mid lane as well in terms of giving her more damage on her W. So Morgana mid lane embraces a very simple style of just pushing and roaming, which is, well, if you've been watching my videos, you know that's a style that I heavily advocate for lower MMR players. Push waves and roam. Make sure the enemy laner sits under tower because people can't last it under tower. And the way Morgana does that is by just pressing W on the wave. And she also is very bad at trading, so it's very important you learn how to avoid trading on her because she has no other ways of trading than throwing a Q at the enemy laner. And if that misses, well, now you don't have spells for 10 seconds. So it's very important you learn how to avoid trading when you're playing Morgana. It's a very useful skill to have. In case any of you are wondering who I am, I'm Espinoshori. I was formerly the rank 1 Ahri, and I've been Challenger every single season since Season 4. And I've coached professionally for 6 years, all the way from Iron to on stage in pro games. So if you want to get better at the game, if you want to learn how to do these things and get a personalized plan, go look at the link in the description, mid.coach, and check it out. Maybe you want some coaching. The way you play is you just W the wave level 1 and you already start pushing. Name of the game on Morgana, push the wave while playing on the opposite side of the lane as the enemy. This is a very, very non-interactive champion, which is why she is so great for low elo. You just press W on the wave and walk away. And then once you've pushed the wave, well, now you can start maybe slapping the enemy laner a little bit when they're going for minions. But the name of the game, just press W on the wave. Be very aware, your champion is quite weak early. What I mean by that is her wave clear is not great until you hit level 5. Level 5 is when your W is going to start one-shotting caster minions, and that's when your champion really gets obnoxious. So it's okay if you're not pushing the waves level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 against champions that can trade with you. It's okay if you just sit back and do nothing and let them have priority. That is fine, because your champion sucks at trading and sucks at pushing early. Level 5 though, that's when the game changes. So you'll notice I'm just going to continue spamming W on the wave and then run away from the Malzahar. If you can, obviously try to clip the enemy laner with your W, but be absolutely sure that you are running away from them and not trying to trade. Gonna use my W on his little minions here just to make sure that I kill them. Although this might make my CSing a bit awkward here, so I'll have to tank the minions here to make sure that I don't lose minions, which is okay. Gonna go for a ward here on the bot side just to make sure that I am not getting ganked by the Lee Sin. I think we just saw him here. I think we saw him fly over the wall. Yeah, we did. 2 points in W instead of a point in E. Generally speaking, you're not really going to be using E in the early stages of the lane. It's just a little bit too expensive. Unless you're trying to use it to dodge ganks or something like that, it's not worthwhile. But you'll see. Just spam W on the wave. And then once you have wave control, you can kind of walk up and try to slap the enemy laner. Take his shield. Then put W on him and then run away. And then again, we just want to W the wave. Wait until I have it up, play on the opposite side of the lane as the Malzahar, and then just W the wave. Again, very important that you're playing on the opposite side of the lane, because then it's harder for them to punish you when you are on cooldown, because you have more distance between you two, right? And then W the wave again, and then just, I can look to leave, I can look to do whatever, I can look to slap the Malzahar here, forcing him to use spells to try to CS, which is awesome. He's eventually going to run out of mana, and when he does, well, I'm going to continue shoving him under tower, but he's going to start missing minions, which that's when things get really, really weird for him, right? And if you can, auto-attacking the minions here will allow you to reach a breakpoint before you hit level 5. If you auto the casters once and let a full channel W on them, they will die at level 3. But now we have level 5, and now you'll start seeing how obnoxious Morgana mid is. Now I'm going to go ward the bot side just to make sure that I have a side of the lane that I can hover towards. Just want to be absolutely safe and make sure that I don't die to a random gank. Malzahar is probably basing, but let me show you just why Morgana is so obnoxious. W on the wave, walk away, all the casters die. And now I can look to W him, because now I don't need to W the wave anymore, right? Because, well, I've already guaranteed push. So now I can actually look to use my spells to trade. Now I do want to base here, because I want to pick up my Lost Chapter. Generally speaking, if you can on Morgana, getting Lost Chapter first base is awesome. Why? Because you are very, very mana hungry, especially in the laning phase. Your W ends up costing 110 mana at level 9. So running these mana runes as well is why we do that, to make sure that we're not bleeding in lane in terms of mana. But Lost Chapter, that's when you become obnoxious to play against as well. Level 5 and Lost Chapter, you just pop a W on the wave and then you run away. If you miss minions, that's okay. You'll do better than the enemy laner, I promise you. Your W will do better than the enemy laner. You can fire some Qs at the enemy laner if you really want to. But honestly, the name of the game is just press W on the wave and then kill the entire wave and then leave. Then look for roams. Morgana is also great at kind of trying to harass the enemy laner on the tower here, for example. I could fish for some binds on the Malzahar here and try to kill him. Instead, what I'm going to do is just roam. But Morgana is great in the sense that she can look for harass on their tower and look to be very obnoxious without having to commit. Now, this roam doesn't look possible because the enemy, my bot lane is dead. And the enemy Lee Sin saw me, so I'm just going to return back to mid lane, cut off that roam, and you'll notice I'm here right as the wave meets. It's very important that you try to be mid lane when the waves meet, because then you can push it out as quickly as possible, and then you can get back to roaming again if that's what you want to do. Missed the cannon, that sucks. I was kind of hoping that my W would CS it, but that's okay. We're again going to push the wave and see if we can't get some control around mid lane. I don't think there are any good roams, so again, very important that I get back to mid lane, so I'm here for when the waves meet. Take the Malzahar's shield. Looks like there's a Lee Sin trying to make some plays down here. That's okay. I'm just going to W the wave. Kind of wondering where the Malzahar is, but so it goes. W the wave and then run away. Just leave. Now I have first move. And the other cool thing you can do on Morgana is when you have first move, you can sit and trap these side lane bushes, anticipating that the enemy laner might roam, and then see if you can't land a binding on them. And if you land that binding on them, you just slap a W and you chunk them out completely. Now, I missed the binding, so I didn't get to chunk out the Malzahar, but that's the idea. Again, we just want to keep pushing out the wave here. Looks like my boys are dying in the bot lane. That kind of sucks. Wave also didn't line up very nicely, which also feels a bit bad, but so it goes. Kill his little pets. See if I can't find a bind on him. QW, and then just leave. Don't think I'm realistically going to be going for any roams here, although maybe we're trying to play this. I think realistically speaking, Malzahar is going to anticipate that I'm roaming down here, so I will try to trap him. It's warded? It must be warded. Otherwise, very well played to him for predicting that play. I would have assumed that he would just follow this fake roam immediately. Again, we can push out the wave and then just look to run down. And we will have our first move. Can look to make a play here. Looks great. Flash alt, W, and then everyone kind of dies. Okay, I guess I got Malzahar ulted. But now the Varus should die to this Q. Line it up with the wall to make sure he can't dodge it. Just, like, hey, yo, not my wave. You can go bot lane and pick up your wave. Hey, please, man, there's a wave here. I need this wave. Don't take my wave after I give you free kills, man. Please. Thank you. Okay, yeah. I mean, but this is how Morgana works. You actually don't really want kills on yourself as Morgana because you're not that strong with gold. Basically, what you're doing is you're shoving out the wave and then just going for roams. And that's kind of it. It doesn't matter how much gold you really have. Like, getting your first item accelerated is obviously awesome, but it's not really required for you to win a game. What really, like, what you're carrying with is just catch potential and CC. Okay, I'm a bit shocked that the Malzahar roamed there. Looks like my Master is dead. I'm not even going to follow this play because I don't think it's really possible to do anything about this. But maybe I can catch the Pantheon as he moves down here. Oh, looks like my Malphite wanted to murder him, so that's awesome, I guess. Come back to mid lane, push out the wave, and then we probably need to think about a base. Bot lane should be winning now because we gave them a ton of free kills, so that's good as well. Gonna take my base here because I have enough gold for my Blackfire Torch. Malzahar stays. That's surprising. Well, I'm gonna grab my Blackfire Torch, and then I'm gonna just run back to mid lane. I, generally speaking, really like running stuff like CDR boots and swiftness boots on Morgana. You can run magic penetration boots if you really want to look for those one-shots, but I find that just having more options in terms of more cooldowns that you can fire out your Q with, or having more movement speed, allowing you to kind of tether with your ult more easily, or get in range to bind, I find is more useful than just having more damage on Morgana. Like, in my opinion, if you catch someone with a Morgana Q, they're probably dead, so you should try to maximize the amount of times you can try to catch someone, instead of, like, how much damage it really does when you Q someone. Although I will say the main damage comes from your W, so that's also why you're building a lot of damage over time. My W was a little bit poorly positioned here, but that's okay. Push out the wave, then look to take my leave. Get a ward down here on the bot side. Looks like my bot lane is 2v3. Why can they 2v3? Because we gave them an advantage. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, the game should be pretty winnable now. Malzahar is playing Symbiotic Souls. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Again, we're just going to continue pushing out mid lane. What matters the most when you play Morgana is not necessarily that you're killing the enemy laner. It's you're pushing out every single wave, meaning that the mid lane or the enemy team has no mid laner. And you have the first move for all of these options. Like, the enemy team has to be worried about me sitting in the enemy jungle here, right? I actually think maybe I can take these camps. Morgana is great at clearing camps because of the update they did to her where they wanted to make her a jungler. So you can just clear camps as well whenever you have downtime. Because you clear them very, very quickly. So whenever you don't think you have a roam that you can go for, well, then you clear some camps instead. Malzahar is probably running top lane, but I don't think that he can kill the Marci in the 1v1. He is quite weak. Again, push out the wave, and then see if I can't find a roam somewhere. Bot lane roam looks not great, to be honest. That was a pretty bad hook. But that might just bait the enemy team to go in which case my roam should be good. Is this roam gonna work? Is it too fast? Maybe I can kill the Varus with a W. And then I could alter here. Yep. Stick to her is very important, so she can't flash away. Then W. Oh, she still had flash. Does she die to the burn? No, not quite. That's okay. Push out this wave and then probably just base. And then TP mid lane. Or maybe just run straight back to mid lane. Looks good as well. I don't need to waste TP necessarily. Because I have full health. And I have full mana, so I can continue laning. Kill this flower. Both of them flashed, so they lost both flashes. That's awesome. And then just come back to mid lane here. Grab the wave. Again, we're just gonna come back, W the wave, and then we're gonna try to leave. Against champions that can force trades on you, this will be harder. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now. If you're playing against something like an Akali, a Sylas, a Zed, something like that, this is going to be way harder because you're going to have to space them way better. And if they're very good, they'll step in front of the wave and try to hit you. And you're going to just have to hit that Q. And if you miss it, sucks. Now the lane gets very hard. But the way those matchups work is usually you try to like land one Q on the enemy laner, land one QW, and then you can try to threaten a one-shot on them if you hit another Q. Like, that's the idea in those matchups. But you still want to just try to push the wave as much as possible. Gonna take my base here because I have quite a lot of gold, then get an Ionian Boots of Lucidity, and then teleport back to mid lane. Look for my Liandry's next. Gonna grab a Dark Seal and an Amp Tome, and then TP back to mid lane. Probably gonna grab a Sweeper at this point because I am roaming a lot. Looks like this is warded. That's okay. I'm just gonna shove out the wave and then see if I can't roam anywhere. 1 W should be enough. It's not quite well enough placed, but that's okay. I wanna roam down here. Okay, enemy team is doing Drake. Just gonna black shield myself and then ult. Get a ton of value here. Should be a very, very one fight. I should hope, because I landed a massive ult. So we should have gotten a lot of uptime to hit the enemy team. Looks like it isn't a one fight. What went wrong? Something poorly must have happened there. I'm not quite sure. I guess I didn't get my W off. I feel like I had to E like that because otherwise the Malzahar can ult me. And you can't react to a Malzahar ult. So you kind of just have to preemptively black shield yourself. But I got, like, that black shield got broken very, very quickly. And then I got CC'd and died. But I really would have expected that that fight would have gone better, to be honest. But that's okay. I mean, sometimes you lose fights. Happens, right? The game is still very much a free win. In the sense that I will still have permanent priority in mid lane, and I will still be able to move around the map and look for plays that I want to go for. And odds are I'm going to find one eventually. And if I don't, well, that's just very unlucky. But this set, like, the thing that matters the most is Morgana will just have permanent priority, and she will just make the life of the enemy laner quite miserable. Your goal is not necessarily to kill them. Your goal is just to make sure that the enemy team doesn't feel like they have a mid laner while you're roaming around the map. Like, that is the name of the game. And your champion scales quite well, and it's quite simple to play the later you get into the game. That's also why I think she's performing so well, because she can just sit back and throw out bindings. And that's all she really does. You don't need to get fancier than that. You'll just run around and throw out bindings. Looks like there's a Lee Sin here. I would love to just slap a QW on him and then run away. Chunk him out a little bit. Make sure he's a little bit low health. Nice. We get a kill on the top side as well. But yeah, all that matters is Morgana will bring you a lot of success over a lot of games. Like some games you won't be able to carry as Morgana, or you'll have a very rough time playing against certain champions. That's fine, because in most matchups you'll do very well on her, which is what matters. Winning a majority of your games is what matters, or performing well in a majority of your games is what matters. And Morgana allows you to do that. So we'll just keep pushing out the wave. We do have a 30 CS advantage on the Malzahar, but Malzahar does scale quite well, so he might end up being a bit more useful than me this game. So I'm a bit worried about that. But again, we should just try to roam. So we'll try to run bot lane here, push out our mid wave, and then just run bot. This roam looks pretty good. I think the enemy team is not really expecting me to be here. I can just black shield myself and then flash on the Varus, and I think he dies. Need to black shield myself coming here, and then flash on the Varus. He has cleanse though, so we need to be a little bit worried about that, but should be good enough. Very important that you black shield yourself when you're running into the enemy team like that, because otherwise you can get CC'd very easily, and then you won't be able to really land your ult or like run with the enemy laner. Like you'll flash ult, you'll get instant CC'd, and then they'll just run out of your ult. So it's very important that you black shield yourself, then you flash in an ult to make sure you don't end up in that weird situation where you just kind of get instantly CC'd when you flash in, and you just end up looking quite silly being stunned with your with your ult on, and then enemies will just run away, right? But okay. I mean, we are playing 10 CS per minute, which is awesome. It's what matters when you're playing Morgana. Take good bases, push every wave, and call it a day. Run up and pick up this red buff here. Might as well. Looks like there's a play happening over here. Would love to move to that. The problem being is I don't have ult, so I don't think I can do a whole lot. I will just press black shield on you to make sure that you can't get Malzahar ulted. And then maybe I catch the Malzahar moving back through here and chunk him out a little bit. There we go. Chunk him out. Take about half of his health, I'd imagine. Which means that now he's killable if I land another binding. So he has to be very worried. And that allows me to just get free priority without really having to worry about him doing anything. I could take this mid tower here, probably. But again, I preach pushing and roaming. So I'm going to push and roam. So this is warded. Would love to clear that ward. But I think if I clear that ward, I'm not going to be on the mid wave in time to instantly push out the next wave. So I'm not going to clear that ward. What matters the most is that you're on the wave to push it out as soon as possible. My W is pretty poorly angled here. That sucks. Oh well, so it goes. Do I have my item in base? Liandry's? Not quite. Actually, I do. Okay, let's just base for it then. That's fine. What are you building? This is a weird collection of items, I can't lie. Let's TP mid lane with our Liandry's. And then next, I like to go Death Cap, honestly, just for maximum damage. Enemy team has quite a lot of magic resist here, so Bloodletter's Curse is not bad either. Crypt Bloom sounds pretty awesome as well, just for the reason that I was talking about earlier with getting a lot of cooldown reduction to spam your spells. Crypt Bloom seems pretty good for that reason. I'm missing a lot of cannons, it feels like. Looks like Lee Sin wants to cross here. Ah, he's scared, right? Yeah. It's a bit concerning, isn't it? Not knowing where the Morgana is. It's a bit spooky, because you can get a bind in the forehead and then you lose half of your health. Looks like there's a blue buff available for me, but I want to push out the wave before I do anything. So, we're going to do that. W the wave. My W there kind of sucked. I was trying to... Like, if I'm very honest, funnily enough, I was trying to aim for the Malzahar. Okay, I can black shield myself here and then run away. Yep. Morgana can just do that. I'm a bit annoyed that my Master Yi is not paying any attention, because we could have definitely had a double kill there, but that's okay. We're going to bleed a top tower here, I think. Maybe I can push out my wave and then run up and collect it. Malzahar has Moby Boots. Hit that with a binding. You wouldn't take it, right? Black shield myself so he can't kick me. Press W on him and he just dies to the burn. Then we can push out the mid lane here and probably take first tower. Make sure that the Pantheon doesn't get a top lane. Oh, it's going to be a race. Oh, never mind. We have that unlock. Perfect. So we get the first tower as well. Gives us feats. I understand you want to go top lane. I kind of don't. I want to push out my wave first and then look to do something. So that's what I'll be doing. And now we've guaranteed the push mid lane, and we can look to do whatever we want. Bot lane roam looks pretty good here. Maybe I can kill the Leona under tower. He might have warded this actually, so I'm a little bit worried about that. What are you building? Yeah, this is quite the... Was that Pantheon I just saw? Wait, I must have been tripping. I feel like I saw someone up here though. But no, I clearly didn't, right? Like, I just very clearly did not see anyone there. Ah, that should be the game decided. We just got double kill bot lane. that usually means like that's when the game kind of gets decided. When you get one of those big kill boys. Okay, well, not if we do Atakan. That sounds terrible. Shouldn't do Atakan here. Just gonna push out mid lane. Slap this tower. Malzahar is gonna come from here. So let me run away. Make sure that I don't die because my entire team is gonna be in base here. Kai'Sa probably wants to go mid lane here. So I should maybe just push out this wave and then run bot lane. So that's what I'll do. Push out the wave. Oh, am I dead? I don't know, I'll get my spell shield off quickly enough. That sucks. I think I'm dead here. Could try to flash this. Oh my god, it's playable? Wait, this is crazy. Keep kiting. Max range spells. Keep kiting. Toss W. Keep poking. Be annoying. Doesn't matter if he hits me with spells. Oh my god, and it works. And I'm out. I'm honestly so surprised I survived there. I don't know how. I think the Lee Sin kick was not great. I think they should have just layered CC on top of me. And then I would have died. Like, if they layered their CC well there, I was for sure dead. But I can push out this next wave. It is very greedy, but pushing out this next wave is going to just buy us quite a lot of time. Which means we can get the Atakan, because now someone is going to go collect this wave here. And I can look to bind whoever moves over the wall here. And try to chunk them out as they come in to contest the Atakan. If someone tries to come in and contest the Atakan. Looks like no one wants to. Which is also fine. I almost have my ult up again. I want to push out this bot wave once more. Enemy team is starting to stack a lot of magic resist. Oh, that was pretty poor use of spells. Well, it's okay. Just fish with spells and then run away if you miss. That's fine. Toss a W on the wave and then run away. Looks like there's a fight happening up here. Want to slap the Leona as she moves up to the fight. Make sure that she's very delayed. That's what I want to do. Want to make it very annoying for the enemy team to try to join fights. Okay, so now my Kai'Sa is just considerably stronger than the enemy AD carry. So if we take 5v5s, we should be looking good. And if I hit a binding, enemy team is, or someone on the enemy team is dead. Like, someone is going to die if I hit a binding. Even though they have a ton of magic resist, I don't think it matters. Although we do have a lot of magic damage, I'm now noticing. Like, a ton of magic damage. I don't know why we have this much magic damage. Malphite is full AP, means that the enemy team is very likely to stack magic resist. Might be a Crypt Bloom angle here then. I could do Magic Shred as well, just to help my team. Oh, I hit a bind on the Leona. Let me just Q her and then run away. QW. Okay, what's happening in the game? Enemy team is probably going to base here. My entire team is basing as well, so let me just take my base too. Crypt Bloom, I like just for the cooldown reduction, so that's why I'm going to build it. Bloodletter's Curse would be nice as well for the shred for my teammates, because we do have a lot of magic damage, so shredding magic resist for my teammates would probably be the best option here. But again, I think if I land a bind on someone, they're dead, so I'm going to get more cooldown reduction to make sure that I can throw out more binds and potentially hit more binds, right? Like, that's the entire idea. So I'm going to run bot lane here and just continue pushing. You want to always be in the side... Well, not always, but you want to open through the side lane here, push out the waves, and then see if you can't walk through the enemy jungle and see if you can get some picks. So what I'm going to do here is push out this wave and then sweep the enemy jungle here. And then try to catch whoever comes down here. And if no one comes down here, then I will look for picks on the mid wave. Okay. So I will run away now because we have absolutely no pressure. No one is pressuring mid lane and I see no one on the map. Means that the enemy team could be sending 5 people bot lane and we have nothing as a response for it. So it's a bit scary is all I'm trying to say here. Because I see no one on the map and my teammates are not like pressuring this tower or pressuring something mid lane. So the enemy team can like without fear send a lot of people bot lane. So they probably are doing that as well. I'd love if my Kai'Sa did not run bot lane here but instead ran mid lane. But so it goes, right? Okay. Miss my spells, so it goes. Looks like we're gonna play Drake here. Name of the game for Morgana, not to damage the objective, but to be very annoying for whoever is trying to contest. So, Leona runs in here. Binding, run away. Now I'm gonna stand here, and then whenever they try to cross through here, binding and run away. Pay attention to the fight up here. Oh, that sucks. Ah, he dies. We can probably Baron. That's okay. We can just Baron. That's okay. Baron is spawning. We can just take that. That's fine. Lee Sin is dead. Push out mid lane. Go Baron. Happy days. Oh. Black Shield kind of sucked, I won't lie. That's okay. Run Baron. Spam ping the Baron. Again, my job is not to deal damage to the Baron. My job is to make it very annoying for whoever wants to contest. So I'm going to run up here, throw some spells on the Baron. And then once we start seeing people show up on these wards, I'm going to run down and stop them from contesting. So I'm going to run down here and make sure no one is contesting. Morgana actually does deal a ton of damage to objectives. Just, again, due to Riot wanting her to become a jungler a few seasons ago. So she still has the strength of being able to jungle, which is awesome. I'm going to base here because I have my Crypt Bloom and the enemy team has a ton of magic resist. You can see everyone on the enemy team is stacking magic resist, right? Merc Treads, Hex Drinker. This guy isn't building any, but that's because it's Malzahar. He doesn't really build defensively. And then Wit's End on the Varus. Obviously magic resist, and then magic resist, and magic resist on the Leona. So Crypt Bloom makes a lot of sense. Void Staff also makes a lot of sense. Void Staff would give me more damage flat out. But again, my goal is not damage. My goal is, well, it's just more rotations. Like, that's the name of the game, right? More rotations is what I want to get off here. Again, play from range, throw binds, run away. Morgana is very non-committal, which is awesome. You can just sit from range and throw out binds and not really have to commit to anything. And then once you feel like you have a good play, well, then you can commit. Which I think I do here, so that's why I went in like that. As soon as you hit a bind, like, you can evaluate, should I actually go in or should I just wait for my cooldowns and go for another bind? But you need to constantly be evaluating that once you hit a bind. Like, whether or not this is the trigger to commit with your ult. Because you have a ton of damage. Like, your ult does a lot of damage and it allows you to layer, like, a full W essentially. Which is going to deal more than 1,000 damage. So it just allows you to, like, get off 2,000 damage very, very easily, which is awesome. So, gonna pink ward this and go bot lane now. Shove out the bot waves. Wanna see if we can't do something on this tier 2. It is very healthy though, and we're not applying any pressure anywhere on the map, so realistically speaking, enemy team is gonna send a lot of people down bot lane here to defend this tower, in which case, we're gonna have to turn this into a siege probably, or I'll have to just give it up, which is fine. I can just black shield myself. And then just run away. And then just look to siege a little bit. Push the wave. Throw some Qs out. You know. Oh, the tower died. Oh, the cannon. The cannone. Looks like there's a Varus mid lane here. How funny is this play? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go? Into my Kai'Sa? That's okay. Yeah, now you die. That's a very, very funny teleport. Probably top lane here. I don't think there's any reason to continue pressuring mid lane. So let's just run top lane here and look for this tier 2. I don't think we can end the game, so let's apply pressure to this tier 2 by pushing out the wave up here. I'm not needed mid lane anymore because there's nothing we can get mid lane. So instead, go top lane, push out the wave, and look to see if we can take this tier 2. Enemy team is sending everyone on their team bot side here, so there's going to be a big fight. I don't have my teleport available, so I can't join that. I would wish that my teammates would disengage this because the top tower is absolutely guaranteed. But this is one of those instances where if they want to be mad at me, they can be mad at me. I'm top lane, I'm pushing waves, I'm getting towers. You're trading your lives for that. That's okay. I'm going to continue pressuring top lane here. Because the enemy team is still sending people bot side. So I can just keep pressuring top lane. No one is defending. Varus is going to come up here and defend. That's okay. I'll have gotten the tower by then. I should hope. Move away. My black shield there was a bit unnecessary. It might open myself up to a flash play from the Varus. But I have my flash as well, so I'm very ready for that. I want to take my base here. Because I do have a ton of gold, but I do want to push out this wave fully as well. Just to apply the pressure. Make sure that I get the Cannone. I've been missing too many this game. Let's just take our base. I have Death Cap. And then we're going to go play Drake, it looks like. So the way we're going to approach this is we're going to open through mid lane, then we're going to push out the wave, and then we're going to try to move into the enemy jungle, and we're going to try to pick whoever moves into the jungle to try to take vision or to try to contest the Drake. And we might not be able to kill them. That is okay, because then what we'll do is we'll just chunk them, which is what matters. Like, if you can chunk someone out, it's almost as good as killing them for these fights. So if you can chunk someone here, that's almost as good as just killing them before the fight even starts, because they'll have a tough time playing the fight. So I want to move in. I want to take some vision. I would love to have my sweeper up here so I could move in here without really having to worry. But again, I can slap the Lee Sin. I can chunk him out. Could ult him here, potentially. He dies. Awesome. And then I can still sit here and try to contest if someone moves in. Looks like no one is moving in. So let me just black shield myself and run into the jungle. Just to make sure I'm not going to get CC'd as I face check someone. Morgana doesn't really have a lot of options for checking bushes with spells. Because all of her spells are quite long cooldown. So you don't really want to have to use them on bushes. So yeah, that's why I just face checked. Oh, it looks like we're hitting a hook. That's awesome. Again, we'll just wait until I have my bind available, then I'll throw one out. If it hits, awesome. If it doesn't, well, it sucks. I'll have it up in 5 seconds again. Throw another one out. Nice. Hit the Leona. This is a bit aggressive, don't you think? I guess we'll kill the enemy Leona. I don't really feel like we can do a lot to follow that. Maybe I can land a bind. Oh, nice. He should die. Oh, I'm still tanking tower. I didn't realize. And that should be the game. Ah, my black shield didn't go off quickly enough. That sucks. Well, that's okay. Should be able to end the game here. If we can take his shield, I can flash on him, and I can show you why Morgana is also very obnoxious when you, like, if you're just an immobile champion. Because Morgana can't just flash on you, and then you can't really escape her ult. Like, she can flash ult, and there's nothing you can realistically do. But I need to take his shield first to show it. But I feel like it's impossible for me to take his shield. He's playing very defensively. Yeah, but I would love to take your shield though, buddy. Okay, let me show you. Right, like, what can he realistically do? He needs his flash to be able to do anything there. Right, like, he needs his flash. Like, as Morgana, you can one-shot immobile champions just like that. Now, should I have ended the game instead? Probably, yeah. But did I want to show what I meant by Morgana can do some very obnoxious things to immobile champions? Yes, I did want to showcase that. She can do this, by the way, at level 6. And then you'll just take their flash, usually. If you flash ult someone at level 6, usually they'll just instantly flash away. And if they don't, well, then you're going to land the stun. In which case, you should follow it up with a W. And then you can land your bind on top of them, and you'll get full damage from your W, full damage from your ult, full damage from the bind, and you'll get auto attacks in as well. Usually you can kill people from around 70% health when you do that. Early on in the game as well, which is crazy. But Morgana has a lot of upfront damage. Like, she has a lot of damage. Everything revolves around getting the W proc, right? Hey, I would have loved if you could have waited like 1 second for me to get that buff as well. But that's okay, man. No worries. Okay, well, I mean, the way to end the game now is we just run mid lane, and then I just find the bind, and then once I find a bind, someone is dead, right? Like, that's how it goes on Morgana. You just fire a bind out, and then that's that. Once you get to mid game, like, that's why she's so nice. She's very, very simple to play. Huh? Toss a bind out, miss it, cool. Just throw a spell out on the camp instead. Looks like I have no teammates here, so I need to be a little bit careful that I don't get picked. But we're just going to toss out our W on the wave. I am full build as well here, so that's awesome. Again, we should just run down mid lane. I don't like that my Malphite is... what the Sigma? So we can probably end the game here. And my job is going to be to stop the enemy team from getting back in. So the way I'm going to do that is just by tossing out bindings here. Gonna black shield my Master Yi, and then, well, what can you realistically do as Malzahar against Yi when he has a black shield, right? Toss a bind, miss it, that's okay. Oh. Yeah, well, the problem is I don't really have damage, actually. Like, if I'm super honest with you, I don't really have damage to end the game on my own. So, toss spells out, run away. Keep tossing spells out, continue running away. He should die to the burn. There we go. Did my Blitzcrank 1v1 the Pantheon? Wait, did that happen? Wait, I need to watch that. Wait, did he 1v1 the Pantheon? Did my Blitzcrank support just 1v1 the enemy top lane Pantheon? I think that is what happened. But yeah. Highest damage in the game. Enemy Malzahar didn't get to play because he was just shoved under tower and left with no options to do anything. And the way to counter that, if you're curious, is you have to step up very aggressively and you have to force the Morgana off the wave or force her to lose health to shove out the wave. And that's kind of the answer to the play. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. And if you did, see ya. Bye, 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 bye.